Hello and welcome to Tea Time with me, Chetty Narula. Thank you so much for joining us on this show today. We're at the KGA, or the Karnataka Golf Association, one of the most popular golf courses right here in Bangalore. Today joining me on the show is Sir Michael Bonallack, all the way from Scotland.
On the show this week, we have Sir Michael Bonallack, former Secretary, R&A.
Life isn't straightforward, golf isn't straightforward.
Right.
And if you can accept the bad bounces and be grateful for the good bounces, you can do the same in life.
In news, Matt Jones wins the Houston Open. And Lexi Thompson wins the Kraft Nabisco Championship.
Sir Michael Bonallack, welcome to Tea Time. A privilege to have you on the show, actually.
Thank you.
So the Sir Michael Bonallack Golf Championship 2014, let's go over that a little bit.
Well, I'm very honoured that I have a trophy named after me.
Sure.
And this happened in 1998, the first match between Asia, Pacific and Europe. And they asked me if they could name the trophy after me, and I'd be delighted, very proud.
All right, so now let's get to know you a little better. You were one of the most distinguished names in Great Britain in amateur golf. So much so that while you were playing golf, you were also involved a lot in the sales of your family businesses as well. How did you manage juggling between the two? Come.
Well, nearly all amateur golf was played at weekends. And so I used to work during the week.
Sure.
Lunchtime I used to go out and practice. I had a golf course near my office, driving range, so I could go and hit some shots.
Sure.
And then weekends, that's when all the amateur tournaments were. There was hardly anything midweek except for the amateur championship itself.
You never considered taking up professional golf in your in the years that you were distinguished as one of the biggest in amateur golf in your country?
There are a number of reasons for that. When I was young,
Sure.
probably wasn't good enough. And when I got good enough, I was probably too old.
Is it?
But there wasn't much money in it then. There was no professional tour. The professionals were all club professionals. And they'd play golf in tournaments in the week, finish on Friday, then go back to their clubs to look after their members for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The prize money was very small. And also the PGA didn't like amateurs turning pro.
Oh, really?
No, they used to, if you turned pro, you had to wait 2 years before you could take any prize money. So that was pretty expensive, playing for 2 years with no money.
So you mentioned prize money, you mentioned the fact that things were very different back then. The PGA did not like a lot of amateurs turning pro as well. How are things different today from those days?
Oh, it changed enormously. There's so much more sponsorship in golf now, and television's the thing which made the big difference.
Right.
Once tournaments started being televised, they could attract sponsors to them.
Sure.
And so there are so many tournaments around the world now, all different tours, and there are great opportunities for young players. They can choose which tour they can go and try and play on. And there are a lot of very, very good young amateurs now.
You know, a lot has been raved about, a lot has been written about, a lot has been spoken about your temperament. Has this game taught you how to be calm? Is that your takeaway from playing golf for so many years now?
I think unless you've got a temperament that can, fairly even keel temperament, golf is a difficult game because you hit a shot, then you have a walk of 200 yards or 300 yards before you hit another one.
Sure.
And you've got a lot of time to think and calm down before you play your next shot. I used to play a lot of different other sports as well.
Right.
And I think any sport you play, if you really want to win, you have to be in control of yourself.
Sure.
And I think all sports help me to do that. But golf is a game where you have to get your mind right.
Right.
Otherwise you're not going to play well. You've got to be confident, yet you've got to be very calm with it as well.
You have been in India twice before, and this is your third trip.
Yeah.
And you've played in India, you've been around golf courses. What do you think really lacks in golf courses in India compared to the rest of the world, or compared to Great Britain for that matter?
I can only judge by what I've seen.
Sure.
When I came here...
And you live next to St. Andrews, so...
Well, yeah, that's different. When I came here in 1960, 1968,
right.
the courses were nothing like as in good condition as this one here is superb. You can't say that this course is wrong in any way.
All right, so we'll remain in conversation with Sir Michael Bonallack. It's a good time now for us to take a quick break right here on Tea Time. A lot more on the other side awaits. Take a quick break. Thank you for staying with us on Tea Time. We're in conversation with Michael Bonallack, who's joined us all the way from Scotland, right here at the Karnataka Golf Association. You know, when you got your knighthood from Queen Elizabeth, it was a great story. I believe that you did not tell your wife for the longest time about it. Let's go over that story a little bit. How did that happen?
Well, you get a letter about 10 weeks beforehand saying that it's possible that this might happen, but you mustn't tell anybody until
it actually happens.
Until it's announced. So I didn't tell anybody, including my wife. And then the day that it was going to be announced, at noon, the phone started ringing and people rang me up. And then I knew it was announced, so I thought I'd better go home and tell my wife. And she was right on a sit-on mower, mowing the lawn at home. And I said, I got something to tell you. And she said, what's that? So I said, you're not going to be Mrs. Bonallack anymore. She looked at me, she said, who's the other woman? And I said, no, you're not going to be Mrs. Bonallack, you're going to be Lady Bonallack.
Okay.
And she nearly fell off the mower.
Oh, really? So what was the family reaction at that point of time when you were anointed as Sir Michael Bonallack?
Well, I think they were all as surprised as I was. No, they were all very happy.
You entered the World Golf Hall of Fame in the year 2000.
Yeah.
What does it really take to be one of the few who have entered the World Golf Hall of Fame?
I don't know. I don't know why I'm there, really, but most of them are very great players. And I wasn't certainly in their class as a player, but I think it was because I'd been involved in golf nearly all my life, either as a player and then as administrator.
Right.
And I was lucky that I was secretary of the R&A and was able to play a part in the development of golf.
Now, Asia Pacific golfers play the Sir Michael Bonallack Trophy every 2 years. What do you have to say about the emerging golfers from the Asia Pacific region?
Since this trophy began in 1998, the difference now is that there's so many more countries playing in Asia, and the standard of golf has improved beyond all recognition. There are more countries, and in Europe, more countries are playing now. More team members are from different countries than there were in those days. And I think this is a wonderful thing for the game, that countries like China are really taking up the game. You have a representative from India in this week, and I think that's a great step forward. And it'd only be good for these young players to have the opportunity of meeting other people from other countries, playing on different conditions, different golf courses. And if they're going to turn pro, this is very good training for them.
Do you think the new rising star of golf in the world can come from the Asia Pacific countries at all?
Certainly.
Given the way Asia Pacific is progressing with this game today.
Within 10 years, you'll have winners from Asia of major championships, without any doubt.
And which are the countries that will shine out and out?
I wouldn't like to just select one country, because they're all coming on.
Right.
And when you can see how much they've all improved, look how the ladies from Korea suddenly came and dominated the ladies' tour.
The Koreans are very disciplined in their game.
Yeah. But nobody could have seen that a few years ago, that the ladies are going to be dominated by Korean players.
Right.
So you never know where they're going to come from.
What do you think
if they get the opportunity to play.
What do you think has led to this kind of a transformation of Asian Pacific golfers?
Well, I'd like to think that it's the availability of more golf courses for youngsters to play on.
The most important reason fueling this growth?
You won't produce good golfers unless you've got a good junior program and you give youngsters the opportunity to play.
Sure.
And countries that have had good programs and had good teachers and allow youngsters to play on their courses, they're the ones that are coming through.
How's the Sir Michael Bonallack Trophy 2014 established a footprint in India? How was the idea conceived? How did it all come about for you to make a step into this country?
Well, the venue for the event is chosen alternatively by Europe when it's going to be in Europe,
sure,
and Asia Pacific when it's going to be here. And so it was the Asia Pacific's nomination that it came to India. I was delighted, and we should have been here 4 years ago if it weren't for volcanic ash.
Right. I believe it got cancelled the last time around because of that.
So we came back again this year. But it was their choice to come here, but then it was a very good choice. And I'd like to think that I was pleased to see all the coverage that the press give it here. And I hope this will rub off and encourage other people to come and see how golf is as a game, and maybe more youngsters will start playing.
What do you think is lacking in India to take our golfers to the world on par with the other world champions today?
Well, as I said, I think that you've got to have a good development program for young people.
Right.
Unless you give them the opportunities to play and make golf affordable for young people.
Which is the biggest problem in India. Golf is not affordable.
You're not going to get the youngsters coming through.
Right.
We're lucky in Europe, we have a lot of public golf courses.
Sure.
And youngsters can go and play there comparatively cheaply. And members' courses as well give special rates to juniors to go and play.
Sure.
And encourage them to play, because that's where their future membership's going to come from.
Could we go over a little on the format of the Sir Michael Bonallack Trophy 2014? How different is the format from other golf championships?
Well, this is a team event, and it involves both foursomes, four balls, and singles.
Sure.
And nearly every other amateur event you play is 72-hole stroke play. So this is very different. Match play, you're playing yourself and you're playing your opponent at the same time, because that's the one time when he can influence what you do.
What do you think about corporate sponsorships in golf? Are there enough corporates today backing this game to take it to the right level, like other sports?
Well, you never get enough sponsors. You can always use more sponsors.
Sure.
But sponsorship of golf is a very good sponsorship, because you can tailor your sponsorship to cover all ages. If you want to target junior golfers and you're trying to sell something for juniors that's going to be used for youngsters, then there's an opportunity in junior golf. If you're selling women's products, obviously sponsoring women's events, you've got a great opportunity there. And then the men, you've got further opportunities. So sponsorship in golf can be targeted and very successful.
All right, time now for us to play a chip shot.
Oh. As long as I'm not expected to reach the green.
Oh, lovely.
That's good.
Thank you. Well, on that note, it's a good time now for us to take a quick breather right here on Tea Time. We will remain in conversation with Michael Bonallack from Scotland, who has taken time out to be on the show today. Take a break. We will see you on the other side. Thank you for staying with us on Tea Time and welcome back. Now in this segment, let's touch upon a few insights that we would like to get from you personally about who do you think will win the next Grand Slam?
The next Grand Slam?
Have I caught you off guard with that one?
Wow. I'm not sure anybody will win the Grand Slam.
Really?
Because there's so many good young players now.
Okay.
But one or two players obviously have a chance of doing it. Rory McIlroy must be one.
Sure.
If you're talking about winning the Grand Slam all in 1 year, I don't think that will probably happen again. He will probably win all 4 majors, but I don't think he'll win them all in 1 year. And I think it's going to be very difficult for any player to do that.
To do that? All right.
Because there's so many good young ones.
Absolutely. Now let's staying with the international players. Which one do you fancy the most and why?
Well, I think Rory McIlroy has got a tremendous talent. He's not going to be consistent every week probably, but he can turn his game on for the major events.
Sure.
Jordan Spieth in America, another up-and-coming young player. He's another one who could win a major. But there's so many good youngsters now, and the good thing is they're coming from all over the world. You've got players coming from Japan, Ryo Ishikawa. You've got players coming from Australia. I'm sure you're going to have some success from India within a few years. So it's very difficult to pick out just one player.
So talking about India now, which one do you think has the maximum amount of potential coming from this
I don't know
soil?
Indian golf that well enough.
All right.
But G. Milka Singh has given a...
Would be your pick?
Well, he's given a good example to what Indian golfers can achieve.
Right.
And he's been very successful.
All right, so now let's go talk about the fact that you live right next to St. Andrews. How does it feel living right around St. Andrews, which is the best golf course in this world? Has that contributed to...
Well, it's a strange place, St. Andrews, because it's not just about golf. It's about the character of the town. It's a university town.
Right.
But everybody goes there. Most people go there to play golf. And it has this feeling about it that's totally different to anywhere else I've ever been.
Sure.
Because everybody knows golf. Everybody plays golf.
Right.
All shopkeepers play golf. Everybody plays. And there's 7 golf courses there, so you have a great choice. It's pretty cheap if you live in St. Andrews to play golf.
Right.
And they've got a lot of good young players there.
What does success really mean to you?
I think success is when you feel that whatever you've done has helped other people in some way. If you feel that through your golf you've encouraged other people to play, or through your work as an administrator, you've again given the opportunities for other people to play golf and for other people to enjoy golf, then you've been a success.
And you are very successful, going by that definition, of course.
Well, I wouldn't say that myself, but I'd let others judge.
All right, so let's talk a little about golf tourism. How do you think golf tourism can be upped a little bit more by various countries? Do you see enough of that happening today in this world?
Well, there is a lot of golf tourism. You can get a golf tour now to countries all over, every country who plays golf.
Right.
You can get a tourist package.
Sure.
So you can go and play golf there. Certainly it dropped off with the world economic situation, but it's starting to come back again now. And I think it'll go on improving. Countries like Turkey have been building a lot of golf courses down in the south of Turkey.
Right.
And that has suddenly become a very popular tourist destination for golf.
Right.
And I'm sure India could do the same. If they had tourist courses over here, you'd get people coming here because it's such a lovely country.
Is golf, in your opinion, a good business to be in? We're talking about coaches, we're talking about players, we're talking about equipment manufacturers, golf courses, real estate companies who are making golf courses. We're talking about the entire ecology of golf.
I think golf is a wonderful business to be in because it's basically a very honest sport.
Sure.
The players are their own referees. And the character of somebody comes out on a golf course. If you play golf with somebody, within 2 or 3 holes, you know whether it's the sort of person you trust or whether it's the sort of person you want to be friends with. And that comes out as their character on a golf course.
Have you judged people while playing with them throughout?
Well, you just do it automatically. You don't think you're judging them, but
How does the character really come out when you're playing golf? I've heard this a lot of time, that you can judge a man's character by the way he plays his game. What does it really entail for you to tell that
well,
person's character?
and also
when you're
not by the way he plays, but also the way he reacts to
Okay.
bad luck.
Okay.
Because in golf, you get a lot of bad luck.
Right.
You get good luck, and you get bad luck.
Sure.
Like life.
Absolutely.
Life isn't straightforward, golf isn't straightforward.
Right.
And if you can accept the bad bounces and be grateful for the good bounces, you can do the same in life. And so then you've got a fairly even temperament.
So, on that wonderful note, let's go over to the green and complete our game. Come.
These greens look very fast.
Oh, lovely. Lovely, phenomenal.
Ah, there we are. Easy.
I know. So on a final note, let's hear it from you. Why do you think golf has become such a CEO sport all over the world?
Well, I think one thing is golf is an easy game to play on your own. You can practice on your own.
Right.
You don't need somebody else to throw a ball at you or hit a ball at you. You can go out and play yourself. It also, you play golf on different courses. Tennis courts are very much the same,
Sure.
but you go to play golf courses all over the world and they're all different.
Right.
And that is why it's such an attractive game to play.
And which is why so many CEOs today are taking up to the sport, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you so much for joining me on TeeTime. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Well, thank you. I've enjoyed my stay in India very much.
All right, thank you. On that note, it's a wrap on this episode of TeeTime. We will see you next week again. Until then, enjoy the flight of a good drive.